There are actually so many ways people can immigrate to Canada at this point in time. But when you look at all the pathways out there, the express entry seems to be the fastest way for people to immigrate to Canada. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the requirements needed for the express entry and also how you can create your own profile and actually submit everything so that you'll be enrolled to be invited for the permanent residency in Canada. Coming up next. Hey, what's up you guys? This is Darlington from Darlington Academy. In this video, like I said at the beginning of this video in the introduction, I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of the fastest ways for you to immigrate to Canada and also get your permanent residency. And also the good news is you do not need a work offer to be able to apply for the express entry. So without wasting time, let's dive right in and so that I can explain to you guys what the express entry is all about. Okay, so the express entry, as you can see on my screen, is an online-based portal that uses a scoring system called CRS. The full meaning of that is Comprehensive Ranking System, right? And with that, it helps to process candidates' profiles in as little as 6 months or less. And right now, there are draws for express entry going on in Canada bi-weekly, right? Where the highest candidates, based on the score, will be sent an invitation to apply. So who exactly can apply for the express entry? So A, skilled workers from overseas and their immediate families, right? So meaning, sorry, I lost that link. Let me just go back. So meaning that if you're a married person, you can come with your wife and then your kids, right? But the bigger question is, who exactly is a skilled worker? The main groups based on responsibilities and duties are professionals. So let's say a doctor, a dentist, nurses, architects, they fall under that professional as a group based on skilled workers. Managers also, such as restaurant managers, mine managers, and IT managers also fall under the B. And then the C, tradespeople. This usually call for a college diploma or training as an apprentice, such as bakers, plumbers, and electricians, etc. What exactly are the requirements for someone to qualify for the express entry? So like I said here, note the express entry is the easiest way to permanent residency in Canada because you do not need a valid job offer to qualify, right? You just need to meet the following requirements: under 30 years old, hold at least a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a trade certificate, be able to demonstrate moderate to high English and or French language proficiency, and finally have at least 3 years of skilled work experience, right? These other factors can actually help boost your chances of receiving an invitation to apply faster compared to, because a lot of people are applying for the express entry, right? So how can you stand out and make your application better, right? To rank faster, and luckily you can get the invitation to apply. So higher language proficiency in English and or French, or both of them. Exactly like I said, bilingualism in French and English, a master's degree or a PhD education, Canada work or educational experience, meaning that even if you're someone in Canada and you've already you're done school here, you are also eligible to apply through the express entry, right? Someone who has like a Canadian brother or sister currently residing in Canada, an arranged employment offer from a Canadian company, and a nomination from a Provincial Nominee Program, PNP, right? So if what you can do is you can go back to this PowerPoint and get all these key points to help you in your application. So let us dive right in so I can show you guys how to create a profile for express entry. And when you create your profile, once you're done, you can submit. That is the first step of getting an invitation to apply for your permanent residency in Canada. Let's dive in. Okay, so first of all, before you start your application for the express entry, you just have to make sure that you are actually on the right website, which is cic.gc.ca, right? I'm going to leave this link in the description area so that if you do not remember, you just hit on this button in the description area, or rather hit on the button in the description area, and it's going to take you exactly to this link here. So once you get to this link, the next thing you do is you choose English language, right? Once you choose English language, you come down here where it says sign in or create an account to apply online. You click on that and it takes you all the way down. So if you already have an account, the next step is you sign in with your GC key, login information, excuse me. But if you do not have an account, the next step is what? To register. So let's register, and to do that, you have to register with your GC key. And once you get there, you click on sign up. And then you just read the terms and conditions. I accept. And here you create your username. So for me, I'm just gonna, like I said, this is a complete step-by-step process. I'm gonna show you guys exactly. So I'm just gonna choose a name that I want to use. Continue. Then I'm going to choose a password. Okay, then confirm password. My password does not match. I'm just going to make sure. Okay, there we go. Then continue. And then here you're going to create your recovery questions, right? So here you're just going to choose answers and then you give a hint. So we're going to be fast with this one. What is your pet's name? I'm just going to use whatever. So when you're doing that, you have to choose what you're going to remember, right? My memorable person. Memorable date. So here you could use your day as in the day you were born or whatever works out for you. So for this one, I'm just gonna make up a number here just to like keep going. I'm just gonna use, okay, so continue. So then you select continue. And then again, you read the terms and conditions. I accept. And then here you're going to create your account. So for me, I'm going to use, so here you're going to put your own name. So my email is going to be, here you put your own email. I'm just making up these numbers just to get this going. English, continue. So security questions, I'm just gonna say, so in here you're gonna use what works for you, right? So I'm using making sure I have all this information. Just gonna use whatever. Anything you use here, try to remember it, because when at some point with this application process, they might ask you what is your name or your dad's name or your mom's name. So make sure that you remember all the information you're gonna put in here, right? So continue. Okay, so right now it's telling me that I've created an account. You can see that Ben Okafor's account, and I do not have any information going on. So down here it says, apply to come to Canada. This includes applications for visitor visas, work and study permits, express entry, right? So now what we're gonna do is we click there, and it requires a personal reference code, which we do not have yet. So here it says, I do not have a personal reference code. And so what we're going to do next is to determine our eligibility to apply online. And this is the one we're going to choose, express entry, because once we fill out our eligibility to apply, we're going to get the personal reference code that we're going to use to start the application process. So I'm going to click on express entry. So it says, which province or territory do you plan to live in? So for this one, I'm just going to choose Alberta. You choose whatever works for you. It says you need to submit language test results for all programs. Remember when I was telling you guys about the requirements? So you're going to need an IELTS result. So before you do all these processes, you have to make sure that you have that, because you're going to be inputting the result of your IELTS. So I'm going to choose that. And next, what date did you take this test? I'm just going to make up something, 2020, but for you, you're going to put the exact time you took it, right? So next, enter the test score for speaking. I'm just going to use any number here just to get it going. But for you, you're going to put the exact score you made. Next, do you have other language results? Which language test did you take for? So for this one, none. Next, in the last 3 years, how many years of skilled work experience do you have in Canada? None. During this period, experience in Canada again? No. So, but for if you're applying within Canada, let's say you're an international student and you're applying within Canada, that means, and you've already had experience, because I know that people in Canada can still apply for the express entry, then for you, you're going to put your experience less than 1 year or more. But if you're applying from outside of Canada, because you don't have no experience, you're going to put none and none of the above. Continue. In the last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience do you have? So this is where you're going to put. Remember that one of the best ways, it says that it should be at least 3 years, right? Work experience to be eligible. So it should be 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 or more. So for this example, we're going to use 4 to 5. So for this one, if you're not sure of your NOC for your job, you can find it out. So for this one, because this is like the experience, what this is all about is like the job that you already have, which area did it fall under, and how many years of experience did you get there. So for this one, I'm just going to use 2 or more years. So you're going to put in the information or how many years of experience you've had on the NOC based on this information here, on these types of as in jobs, based on the skilled trades, right? So you're going to put how many years or more that you've had experience in. So I'll put 2 or more years and then next. Do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province or territory in your skilled trade? The answer is no. If you do have that, you put yes. How much money in Canadian dollars would you bring to Canada? So here, the best way to figure this one out, because if you make a mistake here, for example, if you put in 16,000, for example, and then if you put in 12,000 for an example, and you're coming with 3 family members, then you're not going to qualify. So this is the proof of fund for express entry skilled immigrants. I'm going to leave it also in the description area. It's going to help you guys to actually know how much you're going to need for one person. As you can see, number of family members, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and how much you need. So for this example, I'm going to use one person, and we're going to be using 12,960. So if you're going to be using 16,000, 3 people, 19,000, just follow this format, right? So let's get back. So for this one, we're going to be using 12,000 to that, and it's going to be one person. Next. Do you have a valid job offer in Canada? Remember, in one of the requirements I showed you guys, you need one of the best ways to stand out is if you also have a valid job offer. But if you do not have, it's also fine. You just say no and continue. What is the date of your birth? I'm going to use anything here. You put the actual information for yourself, because this is information going to IRCC, and you need to make sure that it's the right information. This is just for the training portals, right? So what is the highest level of education for which you've earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? Or if you did not earn a Canadian degree, you may need to have your foreign education assessed by an agency approved by immigration. So for this one, based on the equivalent, we're going to be using bachelor's degree. So if you have anything more than that, you're going to use master's. If you have master's, you use master's. If you have PhD, you do the same. For this example, I'm going to be using bachelor's degree. Next. Check all that apply. Have studied full-time in Canada? No. 2 years experience in Canada? No. Have a relative? No. So, but if this is a yes for you, you tick all of that. So for me, it's going to be a no. And next, what is your marital status? It's going to be never married, single. Next. So now it's telling me, based on your answers, you appear to be eligible for express entry. So step 1, when you click on continue, you'll be guided through the following steps to complete your profile, and then complete the express entry profile builder. And once you do that, you're going to submit your application, right? So the next thing we're going to do is hit on continue. So tell us your name. What is your last name? So I'm just going to put my last name. You put your own name there. What is your gender? Male. What is the date of your birth? Already it's there for me. Next. What is your marital status? I'm gonna keep what I said initially. Okay, as you can see right now we are ready to fill out the form for the express entry profile. You can see that. So the next thing we're going to do now is what? It tells me Ben Okafor candidate express entry. So I'm going to fill out all these forms: personal information, contact details, study and languages, application details, representative, and work history. So for all this information here, I am going to fill them out with any information, just to get this process done. But for you, you're going to be putting the right information for yourself, right? So start. So for that one, we are going to last name Okafor Ben. So next, date of birth, it's already there. Country of birth, I'm just going to use Nigeria. City, I'm going to use Owerri. Next. Never married, yeah. Next. Does Ben Okafor have a passport or national ID? Yes. Passport required. Passport number, I'm just going to put any number here, like I said, just to get the process going. You put your exact passport document number there. Country of issue, SAM. I will use Nigeria. Date it was issued, I'm going to put 2018. Select month, April. I'm just making these things up. You're going to put the exact information for yourself. So the expiry date, normally passports are 5 years, so I'm going to be using 2023 because it was 2023, 5 years from 2018. Select month, I'm also going to use April and 5, save and add. Next. Country of, okay. Has Ben Okafor applied for Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada before? No. If you've applied, you say yes. Country of citizenship, I'll put Nigeria. Country of residence, if you're within Canada, you put Canada. If you're applying from outside, you put your country. Next. How many family members does Ben Okafor have? This includes the wife. So for this profile I'm using an example for one person, so I'm going to go with one. How much money? If you remember from the information we had, for one person it was 12,960, so we're just going to use a round number of 13,000. Next. Does Ben Okafor have a relative in Canada? If the answer is yes, for you, you put yes. For me, I'm just going to put no. Save and exit. So we've completed the personal details, right? Now we go to the next one, contact details. So for the contact details, language of correspondence, we're going to use English. Next. So for this one, I'm going to put that email I used, which was this. Gmail. All right. Save and exit. So I've completed my contact details because that's where they're going to send me an information concerning my application, right? Study and languages, that form. Okay. So for this one, has Ben finished high school or any higher education? So it's going to be a yes for me. So what was the field of study? I'm going to put business and commerce. You put what falls, what fits for you. Since what year? I'm going to say 2018, and month is going to be May. Is this is my current study? I'm going to say yes. So when you're filling out this information, you're going to be using everything that fits for you, right? Complete/full academic years. I'm going to say 4 years because a degree program takes 4 years, and it's a full-time. Standing at the end of study period, I would say certificate and diploma or degree awarded. Yeah. Country of study, you put my country, you put your country. City or town of study, same as before. Name of institution, I'm just gonna put a random university in Nigeria for an example. Okay. Level of education, I would say bachelor's degree, right? Like I said, whatever fits for you, you choose from the drop down. So I'm gonna use this one. Was Ben awarded a Canadian diploma? And the answer is no. If it's a yes for you, you put that. And also, has Ben had an educational credential assessment within the past 5 years for this degree? The answer is yes. And also, I said that in part of the requirement, you need that. If you don't really know how to get your credentials like assessed through West, I have a video on one of the topics I talked about, another pathway to Canada called AIPP. So if you go on my YouTube channel, you're going to see some of the videos I made on how to evaluate your credential through WES. And also, if you don't have your IELTS ready, I also have a video on how you can register. I'm also going to put all those links in the description area so that you're not really stressed. You can just go directly and get that information there. So this one is going to be yes. Organization that issued that is going to be WES. Date it was issued, I'm going to say 2020 November. I'm making up these numbers. And this one, certificate number, I'm just going to come up with any number here. But for you, you're going to put exact number for yourself. Level of education shown there, it's going to be bachelor's degree. For me, you put what fits for you. And I think that's it for that one. Let's see, next. Okay. English. Has been taking an approved language test to assess their English skills? Yes. Language test is IELTS. Language test version is the general training. Date it was issued, I already have that there. Date of test results. I'm gonna say, let me use this one again. Put August 8. This is just me making up numbers. Language test result form or certificate number. I'm also just going to put something here just to keep going. I already have the score in there, and save and exit. Completed. So I'm just doing this in a fast way, but for you, you take time and put the actual information there. Application details. So for that one, which province? For this one, if you want to live in Alberta, when you once they are doing as in the random whatever selection process for express entry, depending on what you fill out here, that's how they're going to, as in it's going to work for you. So if you want to pick, you can pick as many as you want, BC, all of that. So, but for this one, I'm just going to put all provinces and territories, but you can choose any one you want. So this is just kind of a way to authorize them to use the information. It says, I authorize the British Columbia Ministry of Jobs to collect from immigration all of the information contained in my express entry. It's just authorizing them to use your information, right? So I would say yes, and here I'll also say yes for Ontario. Next, have you received a nomination certificate from a province or territory? The answer is no. If it's a yes for you, you choose that. Save and exit. That one is completed. Representative. So this one is if you are using someone for your application process, then this is where it comes in handy. But if you're not using anyone for this application process and you're doing it for yourself, all you have to do is no. But if you're using someone, you put a representative. If you're using two people, both, yourself and a representative, right? So for this one, because I'm doing it myself, I'm just going to put that, save and exit. See, we're almost done. Then work history. So for the work history, let's find our code. I'm just going to use something random here. For yourself, I'm going to put a link of all the NOC code. So all you have to do is, if you don't know what your NOC code is, you follow that link in the description area and it's going to take you to where you're going to find your NOC code. You can also search for it here based on the information here. So for this one, I'm just going to use financial managers, right? So it's going to ask me the year. If the primary occupation is a qualified trade, to practice on their own. So what year? I'll put 2020 and I'll just put December. Oh no, let me make it. This is going to be for you when you got yours, right? So that is completed. For this, I'm going to say no. And next. Does Ben have a job offer in Canada? Again, in the information I gave you guys for the requirements. This could also help you stand out if you have a job offer, right? If you do not have a job offer already, you can put no. If you do have, you can say yes. I also have a video on how to find jobs in Canada in one of the videos I made on the pathway for AIPP. I'll also leave the description. I'll also leave that in the description area in case you want to use that option to find a job before you start your application. So I'll say no for this one. No job offer. Next. Does Ben have any work history? So if you do have a work history, you say yes. If you don't, you say no. So for this one, I'll say no work history. But if you have a work history, please put it in there because it's also going to help. And do you agree to answer these questions? Yes. Have you looked for a job in Canada in your primary occupation? I will say yes, I've done some research to find a job. Have you checked to see if your education and work experience in your primary would be accepted? I'll say yes. With whom did you check? So here I can just say through a school or an organization or immigration lawyer or consultant or anything you can choose. You can also say a friend or a relative. So for this one, let's just say an employer for which I applied for a job. This is just an example. You can use anything, right? Some jobs are regulated in Canada. You would need a license. So what this means is, for example, I'm a nurse in Canada. For you to practice in here as a nurse, you need a license, but not all jobs, right? So do you know if your primary occupation or trade is regulated? If it's because it's financial manager, I don't think it's regulated. It could be, but I'm just going to say no. If it's a yes, you put a yes and save and exit. Boom, done. You've just completed your express entry profile. Don't worry, I know it took me like a few minutes. Just understand that I was just putting several as an information there just to get it going, right? But for you, you're going to take your time and put the accurate information there. Now you hit continue. And here you're going to declare that the information you're putting in here is accurate. So you're just going to say, I agree. When you have to read all of this, right? It's a lot though. Please select I agree. I agree that by submitting, I am electronically signing the application. So giving names, this is where you put your name. I'm just going to put Ben, last name. That's it. What is your mom's name? Remember when you were creating that security question? That's why I said I remember that I used Lucy. I'll just sign. Okay, so I have that completed. And then the final phase is I agree that by submitting this application, I am electronically signing the application. So I, Ben Okafor, blah, 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 then you are going to transmit. Once you transmit, you are in for the Canada Express entry. So if you submit this year, you are in for the Canada Express entry 2021. Depending on when you watch this video, once you hit on transmit, it takes you, congratulations, you have successfully submitted your application or profile. So now step one, you will receive a message in your account shortly with your confirmation number and a link to your official receipt if applicable. Then if we need more information or have reached a decision, we'll communicate with you through messages in your account. You'll be notified by email each time we send a new message to your account. Please do not send your passport or any documents to an IRCC office unless it is requested by us. We'll contact you if your biometrics, passport, or additional documents are required. Processing times vary. Check how long it typically takes us to process, so you can do that here. Also take a few minutes to rate your experience. And that is how you apply for the Canadian Express Entry 2021 and all. I hope if you're someone aspiring to come to Canada, this is one of the best and the fastest ways to come to Canada via permanent residency, even without a job. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.